Senate President Mabel Chinomona recently became the center of a high-profile scandal after revelations that Zimbabwe's parliament allocated nearly $400,000 of public funds to upgrade features at her private residence in Borodale. Auditor-General Rhea Kujinga's 2023 and 2024 reports flagged multiple blanket payments, each bypassing mandatory procurement thresholds. Essential renovations, ranging from boundary walls and kitchen appliances to bedroom fittings and luxurious curtains, were carried out without competitive bidding. These expenditures occurred at a time when Zimbabweans continue to endure widespread economic pain. Inflation, failing public services, and shortages in hospitals and schools. Despite the alarming cost, Parliament has remained largely silent. The public is now questioning how legislative oversight could so blatantly bypass financial controls and basic accountability. The scandal emerged after an investigation by the Center for Innovation and Technology, CITE, which uncovered detailed records of at least $372,260 spent on Chinomona's home. According to the Auditor-General, Parliament processed 5 or more payments, all exceeding $20,000 without inviting tender bids, violating Zimbabwean procurement regulations. Payments included $116,000 for demolition and reconstruction of a perimeter wall, $72,795 for kitchen furniture and appliances, $60,587 for bedroom fittings, and $57,874 for chandeliers, lampshades, and decorative vases. The most striking line item, $64,000 spent exclusively on curtains throughout the residence, including staff quarters, deepened public cynicism. Among the extravagant upgrades, the curtains purchase stands out. Parliament allegedly authorized a $64,000 expenditure on curtains, covering living rooms, bedrooms, home offices, kitchens, and staff quarters. At a unit cost level, residents have compared this with national spending under austerity, raising suspicion that taxpayer money was diverted to satisfy personal choice. Zimbabwean online media, including a YouTube breakdown titled "How Curtains Cost You $64,000," attacked the purchase as a prime example of institutional greed. The scandal struck a nerve. Citizens living hand-to-mouth could scarcely fathom such luxury. Across social media, civic activists compared the curtains' money to underfunded schools and sick patients, highlighting a harsh contrast between political indulgence and public suffering. Zimbabwean procurement law mandates competitive tendering for all payments above certain thresholds, specifically $20,000 for single purchases. Yet Parliament granted hand-picked suppliers all significant upgrades for Chinomona's property without open bidding. The Auditor-General's reports noted that each invoice far exceeded legal limits. In defending the approach, Parliament asserted that suppliers were selected for artistic and qualitative reasons. Kujinga countered that any refusal to seek competitive bids undermines the legislative institution's ethical standards and opens the door to uneconomic procurement and rampant fund abuse. Legal experts warn that such systemic bypasses erode trust and set alarming precedents for public sector treatment of taxpayer money. Widespread public anger followed initial reporting. Zimbabweans already grappling with economic hardship reacted with fury as they contrasted the curtains scandal with bare-bones service delivery. Social media surged with demands for justice. Hashtags calling for Chinomona must pay and Curtainsgate trended across platforms. Users questioned how national pipeline failures and underpaid nurses justified lavish home fittings. Civil society organizations swiftly denounced the abuse, demanding accountability and an end to impunity. Observers on Twitter, Facebook, and WhatsApp lamented that while citizens queue for medicines, the elite enjoy extravagant private renovations. Many people produced cost comparisons, curtains here, hospital beds there, pointing out stark inequality, frustrations, and institutional corruption. Fueled by civic rage, petitioners escalated their demands, calling for Chinomona's arrest and criminal investigation. Activist groups filed formal petitions with Zimbabwe's Anti-Corruption Commission, citing theft of public funds and procurement fraud. The public pressure grew. Demands included resignations, asset forfeiture, and judicial enforcement. Prominent voices in opposition politics and student unions called for enforcement of procurement laws and appropriate punishment. Some even pledged peaceful protests at Parliament, demanding transparency and resignation. Zimbabwe Journalists Association joined civil society, warning that silence and inaction would deepen public mistrust. Calls intensified for the police and National Prosecuting Authority to begin investigations, not merely audits. If funds were misused, the law must act, said a union spokeswoman, echoing the national sentiment demanding consequences. Parliament officials have attempted to defend their actions. They claim suppliers were selected for artistic and qualitative reasons. Parliamentary records suggest they sought Treasury approval for bedroom fitting costs, though it's unclear whether this covered procurement protocols. Senior officials summoned before the Public Accounts Committee, PAC, resisted public hearings and demanded media exclusion, citing sensitive data. Critics saw this as a move to shield high-ranking individuals. Speaker Mudenda's office was also flagged for excessive fuel allocations, suggesting a broader pattern of entitlement. These defenses have failed to quell anger. Critics continue to view them as delaying tactics intended to keep accountability at bay. Independent media outlets like Z-Metro, Bustop TV, and Pindula have led coverage, drawing attention to procurement irregularities and damaging audits. They've showcased documentary breakdowns, copies of receipts, and timelines of payments. YouTube exposés, such as How Curtains Cost You $64,000, have attracted more than 14,000 views in a day, emphasizing the salience of the issue. Civil society organizations have mobilized public statements, press conferences, and legal memos demanding forensic audits. Legal advocates and activist lawyers are preparing lawsuits to enforce accountability. Student and women's groups are circulating petitions calling for Chinomona's removal and law enforcement action. The narrative has drawn strong public solidarity. Those suffering in rural districts echo the outrage, demanding equitable governance. Former Finance Minister Tendai Biti has called for a comprehensive forensic audit of Parliament, warning that parliamentary self-oversight is compromised. Legal analysts say such reviews should include audit trails, supplier records, and communications detailing decision-making. Anti-corruption watchdogs are preparing dossiers to submit to the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission, ZACC, and the National Prosecuting Authority. The Auditor-General's data provides a solid foundation. Investigators are expected to scrutinize whether funds were diverted with intent to benefit private individuals. Public Affairs Minister and police authorities are under increasing pressure to proceed swiftly. Stakeholders have called for parallel civil suits to recover public money and criminal charges against both officials and suppliers involved. The focus: ensure action, not just rhetoric. The Curtains scandal has come to symbolize Zimbabwe's broader struggle with elite entitlement and impunity. In a nation battered by economic collapse, such misuse of taxpayer money deepens distrust in public institutions. "Where is our guard over the guard?" asked site reporters. For many citizens, the narrative has shifted from amusement, luxury curtains, to anger and a demand for systemic reform. At Parliament, the scandal could provoke changes in procurement law, tender enforcement, and PAC functions. It may also force cultural shifts, holding powerful individuals to account. Whether the calls for Chinomona's arrest and legal action result in tangible consequences remains to be seen. Still, the scandal marks a turning point, a moment when Zimbabwe demands that public expenditure serve society, not personal luxury. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.